Hi, Sabyasachi. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I think this is the first time you and I are doing this, and we have come together today to discuss about something very, very important, which is the Globsyn Research Cell. And I think just to set things into context, a few years ago, of course, Globsyn has been into research for many, many years, but I think for a few years ago, we put it into a particular structure. And I think then you came into the picture, and as an institution, you were given the task to look at running the GRC, and there were various components under GRC. What I want you to reflect upon today is what are those components, what worked for the research cell, where does it stand today, and how does it compete or differentiate vis-a-vis other business schools in the city when you look at GRC or research per se.
Correct. Thank you for this opportunity. Actually, yes, you're right. That's the first time we're having a discussion, and a discussion research is very important.
Yeah.
Actually, when the institute gave me this opportunity to take around 5 years back, I reflect that during that period of time, there was a lot of discussions in terms of how we can take research forward.
Yeah.
I was, heading research at other institutions, so I thought that there could be a possibility that I could take it forward.
Sure.
And what we did was, there was a plan in place, and one of the important things we tried to do, as guided by you, that we tried to understand that what is the vision of the institute, and thereby how research, what are the kinds of research that we are doing that we can align with that institute's vision and mission.
Sure.
And as a result of which, we not only talked about two different verticals, we also talked about multiple things that we can do as part of our research agenda.
Sure.
And of course, we had one year after the other we took, and one of the things that we basically did was we divided into two parts. One part was a faculty research, and the other part was a student research.
Got it.
So in terms of the faculty research, we tried to motivate the faculty to publish more research papers. Faculties were publishing, and then when they came in, we understood that they would be able to publish.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And then student research, students were not publishing at all. Very, very few publications were there.
Correct.
Okay, so one of the things was to boost the students to publish, to give them the confidence that yes, if once your publication comes in print, it is helpful for you for the corporate world as well, because that will act as a differentiator in the market.
Got it.
Two, three areas which we focused on for the last 4-5 years about sustainability. Some of the areas we talked about artificial intelligence, then human values, and spirituality. So these are some of the areas that we took into consideration.
Right.
Also, we all had, there were a lot of people, which was the external faculty, who came in. And both online and offline, we had a lot of research discussions. For example, you will recollect that during the pandemic period, the period when we were at home, during that period of time, we used to go into somebody's house, and there was a table where we used to discuss in terms of what research was there, what publications are there. So, and of course, the international faculty, because it was Zoom, so they used to come, they used to give us understandings in terms of how to publish in good quality research journals. So these were some of the things that we started out with.
Great. And I think while as an institution, and that's been a focus for us, and we have created various incentive structures around it as well for publication. I think what I want to understand from you is that when a person does not publish much, whether it's a faculty or a student rarely publishes in our country, and I think it's a healthy habit for a student to start publishing early on. Like you said, it helps the industry. But let's say when somebody is not published much, and they are getting into the world of publication, what are the things that you as a faculty, as a professor who's been publishing for so many years, would recommend them to think about or to follow, so that it allows them to start publishing at least at a particular level? Like, what are those journals they should look at? How should they approach it? Should they buddy up with people and publish? Should they publish on their own? What would be the guidelines you will give them?
Correct. So there are 2-3 things which I should tell them. One of the things that we, and as an inherent part of the GBS Globsyn Research Cell that we do, is a colloquium. So research colloquium. So faculty whose paper are say in a nascent stage, and there are faculty, there are two types. So one set of faculty who are novice, who are just getting into the research domain. The others who have already published for 5, 7, 10, 15 years into say Scopus, ABDC, different journals. Okay. So we have a research colloquium
Yeah.
where the budding faculty would come and present, and the other faculty colleagues, they will of course give their suggestions that it could be better like this, that, and all that.
Sure.
So accordingly, before they go for publication, these kind of inputs are given to them.
Great.
Okay, so that is one of the things that
Sure.
that we do in the GRC. The other thing is budding up. Like for example, 2-3 faculties come together, some junior, some senior, they come together and they share knowledge. They share, for example, some things which one faculty does not know or does not have the strength. Some are good at quantitative.
Yes, sir.
Some are good, in terms of technology. Like for example, some knows SPSS as quantitatives.
Yeah.
Some knows good for literature review, systematic literature review they will do.
Sure.
So these people come together, team up and say, okay, fine. So this is a topic. Let's discuss, debate. What are the journals that we are going to publish in? What are the methodologies that we are going to follow? So some some are specialized in methodology, some are specialized in analysis, some are specialized in literature review. So they come together. Okay. So budding up is one thing. Second is, as I said, the colloquiums.
Yeah.
The third part is, as I will repeat that, international people, national people who will come and give guidance. For example, if a certain editor would come and say, in my journal, in a top class journal, these are some of the things that you should do. So like an FDP of sorts.
Yeah.
So our research cell also has an FDP vertical. It also have a consultancy vertical.
Sure.
It has a training vertical.
Sure.
MDP is also.
So you kind of bring those into the research
Yes.
to facilitate somebody who's not done research much,
Correct.
to help them sort of groom up to that space, right?
Correct.
Now, that's interesting, but I think what I want to also talk about, which is the other aspect which you touched upon in the beginning, which is the diversity of topics you mentioned. Like you said, everything from AI or ethical AI to, let's say, sustainability, spirituality. Now these are very varied topics, and therefore competence is different. Some of these topics are also non-traditional for an institution to sort of get into early on. Now when you look at non-traditional topics and trying to make it relevant in the industry, wherein there's a buy-in, how does one tackle a non-traditional topic? A topic, let's say, looking at AI and human values coming together. And how am I able to build that research and be able to convince? Because at the end of the day, when you're doing research, it's for the industry.
Yes, right.
How do you see that going into the industry? How does that connect to the consulting part of it?
Right. One of the things that we try to do, we network a lot with the industry. Okay, we have a strong industry connect, industry base. We network with the industry, and one of the things which we get into is case study. Okay, so maybe from the industry we have a discussion. Okay, and they say, why don't you do our case study? Okay, then we talk with the industry. We do some training programs as well, where we tend to understand what are the industry connects, industry demands. And one of the important things that we also do is that even in that particular paper, we try to get one industry person to be a part of that paper. So what happens is he or she gives an industry inputs, and then the academician gives their input. So one of the interesting things that is happening in this GRC is that the industry and the academia are coming together, doing research collaboratively, and collaborative research is very, very essential, I think, for today's world. You collaborate with students, you collaborate with international people, national people, you collaborate with different stakeholders. We have so many events that happen. So taking some case studies from those events and then doing a certain research based on that to go deeper.
So are you saying that these non-traditional topics, the way to weave them into the industry is through a method of, let's say, case study, what you said, and sort of bringing in elements of human values and technology through different various facets, and thereby by doing a case study, you're actually trying to also recommend a solution to a critical problem.
Of course.
Is that how you guys weave it in for the industry to accept such non-traditional topics?
Yes, it's a two-way thing. One is the industries are benefited. Okay, people who come in, people who are industry people, they are benefited because it's like a soft selling for them.
Yes.
Because once we make a case study, we do a publication of the case study, and then the publishers spread it across. That is one way. The second is we bring this case study to the class. to the students.
Yes.
So it's like a connect between the industry and the academia.
Sure.
The students also get benefited because it is a primary or first-hand case study.
Sure.
Okay. So say for example, I take X company and I do a case study. The X company person also vets the case study. That's fine, fantastic. I take it to the class. We discuss, we debate the case studies, and then we come out with again solutions, and then we discuss with the case with the industry people.
Yeah.
So again, it serves like a consultancy of sorts to tell
Sure.
them that these are the problems. Look, the class has said this is the solution. What do you think about it?
Got it.
So-
Got it. And for the faculties at Globsyn and otherwise, including students, I know you have different seminars and conferences that we do. Like, how do these research, you said, I'm clear about how it gets to the class. How does it go to other stakeholders? For example, an industry or a government, or even the academic world,
Okay.
right? What are the ways you take it outside in the society?
Correct.
The research that you do,
Yeah.
which is also, I feel, a responsibility of a business school.
Yes,
It's
of
not just to do it from a commercial perspective, but
Right.
also do it from a societal perspective.
Right. So we have something called the International Vision Seminar. Okay. So in the International Vision Seminar, it's a 2-day program where the students of Globsyn Business School, they present their papers.
Sure.
Okay. Then there are discussion with different people who come. So for the speakers, we have a top-notch speakers coming in. Okay. So there are discussions, debates that take place. And one of the important things for International Vision Seminar is that it is futuristic in nature.
Yep.
So those are areas nascent. So we are still grappling. The world is probably still grappling with
So
this
those are
particular
problem statements.
Problem statements,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So those problems we will take it forward, and we know who are the experts in that particular field.
Sure.
So we discuss and debate with them. Then we take those problem statements, we do a research on that, our students do a research on that, and then come up with certain solutions. And
Got
you'll be amazed to know that we were giving this challenge of artificial intelligence to them this time. Okay, we thought whether the students will be able to do these kind of researches. But to our amazement, there is such wonderful research, and they presented in front of external panelists, and the panelists were extremely happy in the International Vision Seminar how the students presented these kind of research.
And what
papers.
kind of panelists were there?
So they
these
were
are
they were from
industry
the industry, and they were from the academia.
Okay.
So both of them were there,
Okay.
and they discussed and debated, and,
Sure.
and things panned out very well.
Okay.
It was a great thing for the students itself.
Yeah.
Now they will be published in some of the publications.
Sure.
So which is a great thing for the students as well as for the institute.
Great. And so now, lastly, I want to understand, this is all what we are doing today, and something that we've been doing the last several years, and I understand from you that the faculties are publishing, the students are sort of getting there slowly but steadily. What's the next step for GRC? Like, where does it go from here? Right? I mean, we have these publications, these journals that come out
Yes.
every so often,
Right.
And we distribute them. We sort of look at this as our responsibility to give back.
Correct.
But what happens next for GRC? Like, what's the road plan?
Okay, the road plan to GRC is basically going forward with better quality of publications,
Okay.
like going into ABDCs, Scopus Index journals,
And higher grade
and
of
higher
ABD.
grade of
Yeah.
ABDC and
Right.
Scopus Index, and making our journal also better.
Okay.
So that our journal also stands a Scopus or an ABDC.
Sure.
Okay, and then probably a publisher like Macmillan or whatever,
Yeah.
Emerald, they might want to publish these journals.
Sure.
Okay, and as a result of it, one after the other, it will grow higher. One of the things that we are doing as part of GRC is all the faculty. We are helping every faculty to do research somewhere or the other.
Sure.
We have, some of us have leads, so we will talk about, okay, so you can publish in these journals. We give them some journals. Okay, we tell them Scopus, ABDC, and we have a list, okay, of journals where they can publish, which is the top-notch journals. Okay, the databases where they can publish. So those are things that we are giving them. So one after the other, slowly and steadily, we will have our journals, which will be of a top level, and we will let faculties publish in other top journals, so that anyways the quality of the entire research that comes out from GBS is top level. We also will have an ethical committee, okay, who looks after the ethics of the researchers in terms of Turnitin and other problems if there are. Okay, the ethics committee is also there, so they look after the quality of the paper, the value of the paper, and then we take it up and then we publish. So
Are you guys also collaborating with other universities, nationally or internationally, when, let's say, an individual faculty looks at research? Like, I know you were from Symbiosis before.
Correct.
Like, do you reach out as individuals and faculties to other institutions and also bring your students along. Is that a plan?
Of course,
Yeah.
we do that. We have already started doing that with Symbiosis and other universities where I have been working, or whether other faculties have been working,
Sure.
and we team up together.
Okay.
So the collaborative research can come in. So a university or institute comes together, and we're also looking forward for another step is the research projects that we're looking forward for. If there are opportunities of collaboration for research projects,
Sure.
not only national but international. Now the
Okay.
world has become globalized. So maybe a university in Malaysia or Singapore or US, wherever it is, we have got connections.
Sure.
We will collaborate with those faculty, not only in the Indian level, but in the international level. We'll collaborate with them and then do a research paper together.
Got it.
So as a result of which, anyways, the value of these papers will be much higher.
Got it.
We'll also maybe publish books. Okay, that is another thing that is coming up.
Sure.
Okay, the books publications is also very important. So I think collaborative research is something that we are looking forward for.
Great. It looks like you have your hands full for GRC, and I wish you all the very best. And I hope that it truly becomes a differentiator for both faculties individually and the institution collectively, because I do believe as a business school, research is a very integral part, and the responsibility of a business school is not just to publish from a consulting perspective, but publish from a community perspective, and faculties can immensely contribute there. So thank you very much for your time, and
Thank
good
you
luck.
very much.
Good
Okay,
luck.
thank you.
Thank you.